is what it is, what it is. You do, you know what it is. It's your boy, the Moose. Spot. Hey, man, what it is, yo. Hey, man, we got to get into this. So, I'll just take you to what's going on, and then we're going to do a time warp because this all fits in. This is great. So, I got a call yesterday from this bar right here. We're going to this bar right here. Gonna go to that bar. Yes, we're gonna go to this bar here, which is in Rockdale. Now, I thought I would do just a little bit of fun instead of talking about the event, because the event is pretty cool. It's gonna be a club DJ event. And I was thinking, well, why to talk about the music? But no, I saw Rockdale and I was like, why don't I just tell y'all a story about Stiify J? Why not? So I was living in a 3-quarter house at the time. And the union put me on the bench. I was put on the bench because there was no, actually I had no transportation to get to the next job. So I had to be put on the bench because I was riding a bicycle at the time. I was a journeyman with a bicycle, but the problems that escalated was things before that happened. So, I got a call. Well, actually, I went to the door because I heard a knock. Somebody come knocking on the door. And it was this gentleman from Faith Power Wash. Now, the way this happened was he was looking for somebody to become the next to take over the contract that they had up here. Now, really, I didn't take it over. I didn't buy the contract or anything. I actually worked for them. I was making $10 an hour to wash postal vehicles. So I got on the contract, and I was doing what I had to do. And I remember washing these cars, and then I met my fiance. Well, I met my wife then. And it's kind of funny because the way everything escalated, it escalated pretty neat because it was Valentine's Day. And I hadn't met her, but I met her. I didn't meet her till actually May 7th. March 7th. March 7th, we met. And it was just like one of those things. Now, I was still working for the power wash. Actually, it was after the power wash. So what happened was in February, it was the 15th of February of that year. And it was, what time? It was 1:30 in the morning. I had to be in South Austin at 3. I'm early. I'm way early. I do this on purpose. The water in the tank, I filled the water in the new tank. We just got this power wash system. It was actually a new power wash system that we had just purchased. It's on a trailer, so I was towing a trailer, and there's this in Austin. There's the upper deck, the lower deck, and we have feeder roads to get to the freeway. Well, I was on the feeder road between the upper deck is up here, and then the lower deck is down below, and then right where I'm at is the hospital. Is on 32nd Street, getting ready to go onto the freeway. I had to be in South Austin to pick up my 3 employees that I was going to start managing. I had 3 employees to help me work the truck and get everything laid out and wash the cars. And the boss was going to meet us down there to show us how to actually get everything in place and work. We know how to work the pressure wash system, but it was a new kind of collection system where you actually collect the water into the tank again and reuse the water. It's kind of weird. It's called reclamination. And they actually had this machine that, yeah, I mean, you're not drinking the water, you're washing cars. So, anyways, so that's what we were going to do. It's a pretty cool process, actually. So I get to the light and I pull up. There is a Jeep beside me on this side. And then there's this Cadillac that's sitting on the side. I'm in the middle lane. And I looked in the rearview mirror and I saw this truck barreling down the way. And I was like, gee, I hope that truck slows down. Next thing you know, I hear boom, boom, boom. And I'm out in the middle of the street, jackknifed. The truck jumped on top. He was going so fast, it jumped on top, hit the water. The truck was literally on top of the trailer. I kid you not. I can't make this up. I'm sober. And I get hit by a drunk driver. Yo. If you understand the position I'm in, yeah. I'm in a position where I'm trying to stay out of trouble, and trouble found me. So then I called my boss. Well, first I called the fire department. I called and I said, I need all services. Because I didn't know anything about that person up there. I didn't know if it was dead or who it was or anything. I didn't go check on it because I was in frantic mode. And I had oil in the back of my truck. I had like maybe, I won't say about, I had about 50 of those old things, you know, those old things that they have. I had 50 gallons of that, and I had 50 gallons of antifreeze, because what we do is we go wash the postal vehicle, we service the postal, we top off the postal service. We would top up the oil and top up the antifreeze. We don't worry about the transmission fluid, but if we felt like it, we could top it up. But the problem with transmission fluid, it has to be hot. So you really don't know what you're doing. Oil doesn't have to be, or antifreeze. So that's what we did. We'd help maintain the vehicles before they would service the vehicle down at the shop. That's what our contract was. Maintaining the postal vehicles, washing them and making them look pretty. Y'all know that. The Postal Service has the prettiest vehicles around. They keep them washed. Yeah, they do. They kind of remind me of UPS. They keep their stuff washed too. But so that's that. Now here's where Stiify J comes in. So then I get the car. I had to get late. I got laid off from that. I got laid off. But the wreck got me some money. So I was able to get my car. And I got my car. I got me a Chevy, a Geo, a Chevy Geo. I got me a Chevy 4-door. I think it's a Chevy Geo. It's a 4-door. It wasn't the fastback, the raceback. It was a Chevy. And I got that. That was my first car. I remember I paid cash money. It was a $1,200 car. And you know how good I was, right? So I got the car, and the smarts of me said, if I'm going to get the car, I might as well get insurance to last me. So I got insurance. I paid for a year's worth of insurance. I was left with $1,200 more dollars. I was left after I paid for the car and everything else. So what I do, I bought brand new tools because I had a car. I tooled up, called the union, went back to work. And then everything took off from there. So I'm still living at the house. And me and my fiance meet. At the time, she was my fiance. She's my wife now, but, so we met. And then we were still, you know, we were still dating, you know, yeah, fiance style, right? We're still dating. That's considered still dating. But so with the intentions of marriage, which was going to be in November, we got married in November of that year. But the funny thing about it is, check this out. So he needed me to, the Stiify J needed me to go to this place. And I know this is long. Y'all got to hear the story because it's funny as hell. So, and I had to I had to give you the backlog of what's happening so you kind of understand where everything takes place, because you didn't know, you didn't know this. You wouldn't know the story behind the DJ deal because it all fits together. So I ended up, his name was Stiify J. His name was Joe, but he called his name in the house was Stiify J. It's in the house we had nicknames for everybody because Stiify J was something else. And he was a plumber. He couldn't use his company van and to go move his car because then he wouldn't have nobody to move the van. So he asked me, he said, "Hey man, can you take me to Rockville so I can move my car?" I said, "Okay." And my fiance was with me at the time, so she gets in the car and we're going. And he hands me this tape. He hands me this rap tape, man. I kid you not. From the moment I put that rap tape in, because, you know, I had a tape player in my car still. Because they still had tape players, and that wasn't CDs, it was tape players. I put the tape in the car, and we were jamming. And I kid you not. He rapped word for word almost the whole tape. And she said, "Are you going to do this the whole way?" He goes, No, just now. So then we get on this long road. We turned off 290 onto the long road to go through to Rockville. And we're driving this long road. Now, if you're familiar with Rockville, if you're probably not because you're not from here, they got big old huge canyons where they harvest rock. They have this big old crane. It's like a rock harvest crane that they go in and I mean it's huge. The buckets are huge on this thing. I mean it's a huge. I could walk in the bucket and still couldn't touch the top of the bucket. That's how big that's how big the scoops are on the crane. And he goes, "Oh man, there's only one like that." And as we're driving down the road, my fiance looks at my wife actually. She looks out the window on the other side and she goes, "Hey man," she says it quietly. He's not paying attention. He goes, "Hey, look." I was like, "No, I didn't say nothing." We didn't say nothing. But and then after we got past the rock, that part of the road where the rock is, they started seeing scenery and stuff and going around this curve. The first curve we hit, "Hey man, that's where my uncle died." And And then he keeps on going. And it seems like every third, fourth curb, oh, that's where my cousin hit a cow. And I'm just like, oh my God, man, what is going on here? So then we get to the car. You got to hear about the car. The car is the best. Now, if you're familiar with Rockville, Rockville has a festival in March. March or April. I forgot. I know this. It was a festival that was going on in town. So the cops blocked the streets and everything. So you know what's going on. So we get to the Cougar, the Mercury Cougar, and he starts it up. I kid you not. As he starts the car up, a police officer, a sheriff's car is driving with his lights on going past us. Right? And then, this is funny. So then we get the car to the destination. Now we had to, there were cop cars everywhere. There was cops everywhere because they had to be, because there was a festival going on and the cops were there blocking the streets, you know, the normal thing. So we get to the Cougar where he wanted to park it, and then he gets in the car and we start to leave to go home to take him to the house. And he said, hey man, did you see all those police? You know, they were there because I started my car. He said, once I started my car, all the cops came out of the woodwork. Didn't you see that? Okay. So anyways, wah, wah, wah. That's the story behind Stiify J. And for the life of me, every time my wife hears Rockville, she talks about that stuff. It's just funny, man. It's funny how, so 3 months later, I do the club and I become the DJ for the club. And I was a DJ, a resident DJ, if you want to call it. I was a resident DJ. Actually, I was part of the club had a, what they call a steering committee. And I was part of the steering committee, and they needed a DJ, and I volunteered. I got paid to volunteer, but it wasn't it wasn't the money that I just loved DJing. And guess how I started? I started with not this one, but with an iPad. Actually, the first generation mini iPad. That gives me dates. The first mini generation iPad. I started with it, Spotify, and 2 borrowed speakers. And the attachments that I needed to get. That's how I started. I kid you not. That's how I started DJing. I rocked the party so much. They had so much fun. After the event was done, and I go to the steering committee the next month, they're like, man, you did a good job, man. Them people had fun. We want you to do New Year's. So that was when I got my very first setup. And this is my very first setup right here. That's my very first DJ setup. So it started from there, and that's where I became a DJ. And I had to use that story because that story is too dang funny. I couldn't get over it. But the positions that I was in, but to take you back, that once I got back, I remember I got back, I started working for Porter. And when I started working for Porter, I was at UT. And that's where I started back working for UT. We built the east side of the stadium. the west side of the stadium has the big old Scantron, the big old Jumbotron. Yeah, they had actually just put that in a year before this. So the Jumbotron was on this side of the Coliseum, on this side of the Longhorn Stadium, and then on the south side is where all of the guests come, and then the north side is where UT goes, and then and actually in the middle of the new one is where they met. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so, oh, and a little story. They're about to tear I-35 up. It's actually been torn up from Round Rock out. Well, actually from North Austin out. So I don't go I-35 to San Antonio or San Antone, how you want to call it. I actually get on the back roads and go to Buda. And then from Buda, I go down. But anyway, that's because I-35 is a wreck. It's a mess. It's a parking lot. So I don't go to parking. I don't drive parking lots. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a little bit of story time in this video. I hope you liked it. I know it's kind of long. It's kind of funny. There's stories in it, but I wanted to go there because, it's interesting. Oh, and the light box. I will actually be doing 2 light boxes. I'm going to, when I get the deck for the table, and I'm going to get another special board that I got in the garage to build the light box. I'm going to get the 2 pieces of plastic. And of course, you know where I'm going. I'm going across the street. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do them with glass. I'm going to go across the street to Lowe's and get the glass cut. And I'll show you that. They actually cut the glass in Lowe's, which is pretty cool. They actually make the size. Home Depot doesn't do it, but Lowe's has a glass cutter. So we're going to get the glass cut in Lowe's and then get the, cause I want to make them glass. And then, they're going to be glass. The moose is over there. I put him over here in the corner. The moose is in the corner because he's in trouble. My daughter hates him, so he got to sit in the corner. But it's actually going to be under the love sign. I'm going to have the moose, and I'm going to get another one of these. It's an 8-foot strip light, 16 LED color options. And I can connect multiple strips, but I only need 8 foot. It's going to be a 2x2. So, 2x2x2x2, a square. So, and I will show you we're going to actually show you how to make it all together. I'll put the frame together, how to put the glass in, how to cut the ridge. I can show you the table saw way, or I can show you the other way. I can even use a grinder, but so anyway, with that being said, thanks you for joining me on story time. With that, I'm out. Oh man, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and ring that trusty bell for more notifications from videos like this and countless others. Smash that like button and check out one of these videos right down here. And deuces, baby.